Hey everybody. It has been a really interesting day, and the enemy has been trying to stop me from sharing this message, but I feel convicted. I know what God is asking me to do, and I'm going to be obedient, so I am pushing through. This is like my fourth time trying to record this video. In fact, I recorded about 10 minutes of video and then found out that it had no sound. So I am starting over for the fourth time, and we're gonna get this out because I know that this message needs to be shared. So, I think we'll call this allowing Jesus to wash your feet. And it's not gonna make a lot of sense in the beginning, but hopefully you'll have the clarity that I do at the end. It's 10 o'clock at night. It's the end of my day, and the Lord has been talking to me all day. He has been building a message. He's been giving me like the points of a sermon all day, and he just took it home. I walked through the door at home. He took it home. The message is very clear now. I completely understand. And let's just say that God is so good. God is so good. I am just amazed. I'm amazed. So yeah, I got up this morning early, and I needed to go to Kroger to return some food that I had bought last week that I found out was recalled. So I am teaching Vacation Bible School. We have Vacation Bible School this week. I'm one of the teachers. And when we were at the reception yesterday, so Monday night, after class had concluded, I got a notification on Facebook that my vegan group had posted. And I don't get notifications for this group, but a friend of mine had posted, so I got that notification. And the post was a picture of me. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow. So that captured my attention. Otherwise, I would have been like, okay, one of my friends posted, so who cares? You know, and like went about. But because it was a picture of me, I was invested. So I scroll down, and on the fourth post, underneath the picture of me, is a recall for one of my favorite foods, and I had just bought some last week. So it had like the numbers, so I pull up the Kroger app and I scroll down and I see that the numbers for the recall, it's the numbers of what I had just bought. And I've been eating this, okay? So I'm freaking out. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. I'm like, it's late. You know, like you need to prepare the Vacation Bible School lesson for Tuesday. You need to like take your trash out because Tuesday is trash day. Like you have a lot of stuff to do. You can't go to the store tonight. So I asked God in my prayers last night. I was like, God, can you wake me up early so that I can go to the store and return this recalled stuff and get a refund and still make it to work on time. And so I go to bed, and when I wake up this morning, I wake up early. I wake up an hour early, and I get dressed, my God's favorite shirt, and I wanted to do a pop of color. So I put on like my red scarf and I put on my red heels. But I make it to the store, and as I'm getting out of the car, this lady who's parked right next to me, she's getting into her car. So I pulled up beside her, and as soon as I step one foot out of my car, she goes, "Oh, girl, you wearing those shoes?" And I said, "Thank you." And when I got fully out of the car, she was, "Oh, I like that. I like what you did. I see what you did, girl. That's cute. That's cute." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." And she was like, "That's really, really cute. You look really nice." And I said, "Thank you so much. You know, I tried to do a little pop of color." And she said, "Oh no, you did that. You did that. You look good, girl." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that." So I get my wallet, and I start walking. And literally, like, as soon as I get on the little mat where the doors register and they open, I take one step after the door opens, my shoe breaks. Shoe breaks. I've had these heels for a year, y'all, okay? Like, I keep shoes for a long time, and I'm a heel girly. So I take very good care of my shoes. Actually, like, I had a heel washing day last week where I took all of my heels out, all of my, like, springtime and summertime heels, and, like, cleaned them, and, like, checked to see if there were any tears or any openings and fixed them. And these shoes were fine. There were heels that I needed to touch up and repair, but these heels were fine. And this is my first time wearing them since then, so which makes this even crazier. But so my heel breaks. The strap came off of the top of my shoe, so my foot was no longer fastened inside. It was just wrapped around my ankle and nothing holding it to my foot, just flapping around looking silly. So I was like, wow, this is very humbling. I handled it well. I just was like, oh my gosh, did my shoe break? And I looked and I was like, wow, my shoe broke. That's crazy. And I laughed and I unhooked it from my ankle, and then I just walked back to the car, just because I still had the heel on the other foot, and I wear really high heels, so just looking silly. But I had a pair of flats in the car, these, my flats in the car. So I put those on, and then I turn around, walk back into the store. I get my refund, and then after that, I'm like, okay, God, I only have an hour before work, and now I need to go back home to get different shoes. And I was like, God, I don't even know, like, what shoes I would put on. Like, that was my only pair of red heels. And, like, what else do I have that's a pop of color? So I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I just kept hearing, just go home. Go home. Just go home. And I said, okay. So I went home, and it's like, what is the plan gonna be when I get here? But, you know, like, when the Holy Spirit tells you to do something, you listen. I'm very obedient. I try to be very obedient. So I get home, I walk in the house, and I hear, go to the garage. And I'm like, okay. So, well, actually, I heard go to the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen, and then I heard go to the garage. Because the door to the garage, that's the door to the garage. And see the kitchen? So I heard go to the kitchen, and then go to the garage. Just very step-by-step instructions, you know? And so I go, and I go into the garage, and I hear, go to the bug spray. Because I have, like, this big jug, like 2-gallon thing of bug spray, and like the spray thing. So I go over to that, and it's on the floor. So when I bend down to the floor, I look, and I'm eye level with a storage tote that says art supplies. So I'm like, oh my gosh, art supplies, because I love crafting, I love art. So I see like my glue and my clamps, and I'm like, okay, I can fix my shoe. So like, I didn't realize that I had things to specifically fix, like how much of my shoe was broken. Like, I was like, on the way home from the store, I was like, do I go to like a cobbler? Like, do I need to find a shoe repair place? Do I just need to buy new shoes? Like, what do I need to do? But I had everything I needed. So I get out the stuff, and I turn around to walk out of the garage, and I'm walking quick because I'm excited now. I'm like, okay, like, time is ticking down. I need to hurry up and fix my shoe. And I hear, turn around, go back. So I turn around and I go back. So I'm standing in front of the arts and crafts bin, and I'm like, what? So I turn around, and right eye level with me standing up is a tote that says shoes. And I'm like, okay, I'm very organized, guys. Okay, so I look at the tote that says shoes. And one thing about me, I only keep 2 seasons worth of clothes out. Sorry. But yeah, so one thing about me, I only keep 2 seasons worth of clothes out. So right now it's spring and summer. But winter and fall are stored in the garage. Okay? So, same thing with shoes. I have winter shoes, like winter and fall shoes, and I have spring and summer shoes. So all of my spring and summer shoes are open toe, and all of my fall and winter shoes are closed toe. So I'm looking at the shoe bin, and I'm like, okay, it's shoes. And I pull it down, and I'm just expecting to see a whole bunch of boots, and then like dark colored things. Like I'm like, okay, it's summertime. Like, why am I looking in here? And I see closed toe red heels. I see closed toe red heels. And I'm like, oh my gosh, God, I forgot I had these. So I'm like, okay, this is incredible. So I can fix my shoe and still wear red shoes today. God is just so thoughtful. Let's just take a moment for how good God is. Because I was already equipped to handle the situation at hand. I already had everything I needed. But God gave me clarity and clear direction. Simple solution. I love him so much. I love him so much. So I put on those shoes, I fix my heels, and then I bolt out of the door for work. And like my alarm to leave the house was going off. And I was like, okay, like I need to get going. And I get in the car and I look, and it's actually 15 minutes before it's my regular time to have to leave for work. I have 15 minutes. So I calmed down and I was like, okay, Jada, you don't have to rush. Calm down. Let's have a relaxing drive to work. Everything has been solved. We're going to be okay. So I get in the car and I turn on podcast. It was 10-minute Bible Talks. And the episode today was about evangelism. And how evangelists, the difference that they highlighted between like Christians spreading the gospel and evangelism was that evangelists go and they do it in the moment. They do it right then. So you are being like honest and raw, you know, like you're telling your testimony. You're not trying to sell God to these people. You're not trying to sell to these people Jesus. You're just being honest and you're talking about your experience, your life. You're giving your testimony in real time. So they really highlighted that people that just are like, that just try to spread the gospel, you wait for moments to come up when you can tell about past experiences. And you tend to think strategically, or how can I make God sound good, or all of this stuff. And evangelism works because you are telling your testimony in the moment, your enthusiasm, your excitement, your passion, and the fact that it is not something in the past, it is something that has happened right now. It is recent, it's relevant. That is convincing, you know? And you don't have to sell to people God or sell to people Jesus. You just tell them the truth. You just tell them the truth. Not saying that the gospel is not the truth, but you're just talking about an experience that you had. And the experience highlights God, highlights Jesus. It talks about his character, you know, like it gives way to those things authentically. And like the message at the end of the episode that I got, my takeaway was, do not wait. Go and tell it now. Go and tell it now. And I've been working on this, but I'll have an experience and then I'll like record the video in the moment, and then I'll sit and I'll nitpick it and I'll feel weird and I won't post it. And I do that all of the time. I'm not joking. I literally do it all of the time. And it's like, okay, JD, you got the first step, but the second step is to share it, you know? And in the podcast, they specifically referenced the woman at the well and how she went to the well and, had that encounter with Jesus. And like she was at the well by herself, like it wasn't the time that people go to the well. And it's like intention, like she went, there was distance between her and the rest of the community because she went at a separate time where she would be alone. And she ran into Jesus. And after she had the experience with him, she ran off to evangelize. She ran off to tell her testimony, to give witness of her account from the experience that she had with Jesus. And her evangelism brought many people to Jesus in real time. So that's the example they gave. And that really stuck out to me because we're planning Women's Day at my church. And we were trying to come up with themes. This was last week. And I said that our theme should be the women at the well. So the fact that that was the verse that they used, I was like, wow, okay, this is a message for me. This is for me. And it was for me. So I'm like, okay, Jada, you need to tell your testimony in the moment. You don't just need to spread the gospel. You need to evangelize. So I get to work, and I am the manager. I manage a team of 6. And today, there was one other person. I managed a team of 1. So today was very collaborative. Like we did the jobs of 6 people, and like it was a smooth day. Very clear communication. Like it did not lack challenges. And like I've been at my job for 10 years. And like my job now is not the day-to-day of a person that has been there 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Like I have my own set of work and I do a lot of work on the back end, but the actual day-to-day stuff I don't really have to do. So it was really interesting. It was enjoyable. I had a great day because like I've been manager for 4 years now. Okay. So for 6 years, I was on the daily grind, doing the day-to-day processing things. And I built systems, many systems, and now I manage and maintain those systems, but I haven't had to work with like at the bottom of those systems in years. Years. And so today was really, really fun for me because I was doing things, and then like, when you're the manager, different processes in the department, when you have built and like you update and you maintain those systems, there's little nuances that you forget, little day-to-day things that are not top of mind, are not big picture for somebody that needs to see the big picture. And it was really, really fun for me because I at some points in the day I got frustrated and was like, why is this like this? And it was, well, Jada, you remember 9 years ago when it was like this? And you said, why is this like this? And then you worked with your management to build a new system. Look at the new system. So I looked at the system and it was, okay, you built this system. From start to finish, this is something that you built. So if it needs improvements, where in that process, where in that system do you see that your team may be experiencing something that to you would have never seen from where you were sitting? But now that you are here walking in their shoes, you can pay attention to and notice and fix. So I made a very nice to-do list of things I need to update. And I'm really, really excited because my full team isn't back until next week. And it's only Tuesday. So I'm really, 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 really excited for how I can improve those systems for my employees so that they can come back to something that's even more, like, even better and tailored more specifically to the needs of my team now. You know, like the team I had when I was in my first year is not the team I have now in my 10th year. So, and you know, like things have advanced, like technologically, and then like just in the world, like things are different. So it was just really, really fun. I had a great time. But it was really funny because as I was going around doing things, like I manage a fulfillment department. We do inventory, we do mailroom, and we do fulfillment. So it's a service department. So I service the departments, but I mostly do it behind my computer, or I do it like remotely. I do it through meetings, you know, like I talk to them a lot. It's very collaborative in that sense. But like I had to deliver packages today, and I'm delivering packages in these heels, lifting 40-pound boxes over and over and over all day, going up and down between the first floor and the fourth floor, and with this big cart. The first time, like my first round throughout the building, everybody, like every department I had to stop in was like, oh my gosh, Jada, like how many people are in your department that you have to deliver the packages? And I was like, well, it's only 2 of us today, but it's like, so y'all are gonna have me. And like I deliver the packages, and then everybody, I was like, I'll be back, because like people deliver multiple times a day. Like we have USPS once a day, but we have UPS 4 times a day, FedEx 2 times a day, Amazon 6 times a day. So it's constant package deliveries. And like that's one thing that my team is always like, oh my gosh, we get so many packages, I feel like I'm delivering packages all day. Which I deliver packages all day today. So they are correct, but also I got a whole lot of other stuff now. So it's nice to have perspective sometimes, you know? It's like undercover boss. I'm not a CEO, but I really, really like to be a hands-on manager, you know? That makes me really, really happy. That brings me joy. I want my team to know that I am not afraid to get down and dirty with them. I'm not just calling shots. I am also I'm doing the steps as well, you know? So, like the second round of package deliveries, one department, they were like, Jada, you're going to have to do package deliveries all day in those shoes? And I was, yeah. And they were like, how do you get around in those? And my response was, if they were any shorter, I'd be tripping all over myself. And they laughed, and I laughed, but, which is true, by the way. In heels, graceful. In flats, sneakers, sandals, oh my goodness, I quite literally am tripping over myself. So, we make it through the day, and I have a volunteer in the department, and the volunteer, she's telling me about how her morning went, how it was like a series of events that like she was not expecting. And I told her, I said, well, you know what? I made one stop before work, and then I was supposed to come straight to work, and my shoe broke. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do now? And then I got home, and I told her like the lead up and how I found the second pair of red heels. And to sum it up, I told her, I was like, you know, I just feel like today is a closed-toe heel day. I was like, I don't know why God had my heel break. I don't know what the purpose was. But if I were to reflect on it right now, I would just say, I guess God knew that whatever I would have to do today, I would need to do it with closed-toe heels. And the fact that I said that, and like the series of events that happened for the rest of the day, it just, God gives you bits and pieces, but there is a full picture. There's a full picture. Because I didn't know that today was going to play out the way that it played out. But it was definitely a closed-toe heel day. I got off of work late, and there's a 30-minute window between our office closing and me starting as a teacher at Vacation Bible School. And I do not work in the same city as my church. And it was crazy pouring down raining. It was like thunderstorm, thunder, lightning. The street that my job was on was flooded. It was a flash flood warning. And I'm like, oh my God. And I got off late. Because I have to stay, make sure everything is good and set up for the next day. So my team got to leave. My team. The one other person got to leave. But I was still there. I was there for 15 more minutes. And I was like, okay, I have 15 minutes to get out, get in this rain, get to church. And I started to rush. And I was like, Jada, calm. You're going to get there when you need to get there. The Lord knows. And I'm going to tell you, okay? I thought that I would have time on my lunch break to pull together the lesson that I was going to teach tonight at Vacation Bible School. I did not. I did not have time. It was 2 of us. There's usually 6 of us. There's 2 of us. And like the organization I work for, they have 6 or 7 different offices across the world. My department is the only fulfillment mailroom and inventory team. I manage the only fulfillment, inventory, and mailroom team. So I make do a lot. We make miracles happen all the time with a team of 6. We have more offices than I have employees. And we make it work. We really make it work. So the fact that it was 2 of us, and we had a smooth day, very impressive. Thank you, God, for your grace. Thank you for that alignment. Thank you for that peace. Thank you for the comfort. Thank you so much. So, one thing I want to note, throughout the day, I did find myself rushing around a lot. And I told myself, hey, what needs to get done will get done. You have time. Do not push. Do not rush. Slow down. But all of that rushing started to make my feet hurt. So, I put back on my slides. And I was a little bit embarrassed when I had to take my heels off. Just because, like, everybody knows, like, I'm probably one of the only people in the office that wears heels. And I wear high heels. And I am in a service department. I'm not somebody that sits at their desk all day. So people seeing me like buzzing around the office building, I know like some departments, they'll be like, oh, Jada, we knew it was you coming down the hall because we heard your shoes. So like switching it to my flats, I really was a little bit embarrassed. But just because of how I see myself, I bring flats every single day to work. And I can probably count on my one hand in the past 10 years where I actually needed to use them. So I just was a little embarrassed on my own, which is so silly. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that happened. So as I'm leaving work, the rain is starting to lighten. But like I said, flash flood warning, and the street that I work on was already flooded. So the parking lot is flooded. Not flooded terrible. The parking lot isn't that bad, but there's like this much standing water. So I'm walking to the car, and my feet in these sandals are getting soaked. They're getting soaked. And I will mention, when my shoe broke at Kroger and I had to put these on, my one foot, like, I had to walk back across the parking lot to my car. So my foot was dirty. And I didn't have time to wash my foot before work, okay? I didn't have time to wash my foot. And I was, you know, like, hey, whatever. Gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm like, okay, I had dirty parking lot foot, and now I'm back in these shoes, and I'm wading through the water to get to my car. Like, so I told myself when I was getting into the car, I said, you know what, Jada, it's okay. When you get to church, you can just switch back into your heels. You'll be fine. So I get to church with 1 minute to spare. 1 minute before Vacation Bible School starts. And I did not have any time to prepare my lesson at work today, because there were only 2 of us. There was no downtime. I worked through my lunch break, so there was no time to do anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I did read the verses, but I just was like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And we get in there. I don't have time to change my shoes, so I just wear my flats. And I get in. I set up our classroom. Excuse me. And then I make it into the sanctuary just in time for them to release to the teachers. And I'm like, okay. So I get my class, they come, and we're talking, and I'm talking to them about empathy. We were talking about love and doing to others as you would have them doing to you. We were talking about that, right? But I wanted to take it a step further. So I was like, let's talk about empathy. I was like, empathy is being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but to sit in it and feel it. So not just think of it, oh my goodness, that person's having a terrible day, I should be nice to them. No. Oh my goodness, that person's having a terrible day. Why? Because these things happen. How would I feel if those things happen? And you feel it. You feel the weight of what they're feeling. So it's not, so I was explaining how it's not just understanding and giving them grace. It's being able to truly empathize, to truly feel what they are feeling and understand how their choices or actions or reactions could have, like, you understand those things, not just logically, but you understand it emotionally. It makes sense to you. Even if it's not the same choices and decisions and reactions you would make, just being able to understand where they're coming from authentically, like, as in genuinely, you know? And I was explaining to them that I am very empathetic, and I try to be as empathetic as possible. Sorry, I'm fibbing. I am very empathetic. I don't try at all. It's very natural. It is part of my daily walk and talk, you know. I'm constantly, oh my goodness, that must be a terrible experience. I'm so sorry you went through that. Oh my goodness, I'd be delving deep with people. I'd be like, okay, yes, let's share, let's deep, heart to heart. And it's very easy for me to connect with people. So I wanted to talk about that because the lesson today was God, like, oh my gosh, okay. I can't remember the exact words, but essentially it's like being a good steward over your relationships. So yesterday was like treating yourself with care. It was the word, okay, care. It was caring for your relationships. So yesterday was caring for myself, and today was caring for my relationships, people that I'm in relationship with. So I was explaining how we are in a relationship with Christ. That's a relationship. So we were like, okay, like, what do you do for people you're in a relationship with? What do you do for your parents? What do your parents do for you? What do you do for your friends? Like, how do you show your, like, friends that you love them? How do you show your parents you love them? How do people show they love you? How do you feel cared for? In what ways? You know, like, things like that. And then I was talking about like what would Jesus do, like those bracelets, and how when you're walking about daily life, yes, you should, oh my goodness, like I want to treat them the way I want to be treated. But what they want to be treated and what you want to be treated is sometimes different. So I was like, while you are like using the golden rule, treating people the way that you want to be treated, I was like, let's take it a step further and think, what would Jesus do? Jesus would lead with love in every situation, whether he was upset, whether he was mourned, whether he was joyful, like he would lead with love regardless. And I was like, that's not to stifle your emotions. That's not to say that you can't feel what you're feeling, but love should be the beginning step. And when you try to center and ground yourself on love, and then go to, okay, now, how do I treat this person the way that I want to be treated? Then it kind of fixes your heart posture. That's what I was trying to get to. And so that's what kind of led me into empathy. People's love languages are different. So it's like, if I am saying, yeah, I'm treating people the way that I want to be treated, but the way that I want to be treated is words of affirmation, but this person wants to be treated with physical touch. You know what I mean? Like, there's a disconnect. But if you're leading with love and you're empathizing, then it's easier to connect, to be able to be used in the way that the Lord would need for you to be used, for that person to get what the Lord wants them to get out of that experience. Does that make sense? So that's what we were going over in today's lesson. And they asked me if I could give an example of an experience in my life where I had to really empathize, and it was difficult. And they were like they understand empathy, but they were a little stuck on the sitting in it. Like, they were like, I understand putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, but I'm a little stuck on the sitting in it. And I was like, okay. So I gave an example from my life. And it was a sensitive topic. And like, I went about it fine, and I knew that the situation that I was talking about, that personal experience, I knew that it would connect. I knew that they had not the same experience, but that they could relate to the experience I had. I had the teenagers. My group was teenagers. So we talked about that, and it was being a middle child, having older sisters, having younger sisters, being in the middle, like being super smart, being the one that doesn't get in trouble, the like not being the squeaky wheel, and essentially kind of slipping through, while like the older and the younger have like spotlight on them. And so I was talking about that and empathizing with my parents, empathizing with my siblings. So there's no resentment. There's no like harshness. Like I can look at my siblings and I can look at my parents, and I can see in each person's way how things happen, why they need it to happen that way, and how each person felt and what led to decisions made throughout our lives. That was my example, but like I was giving real examples, and I connected, but one, I feel like it was a long story, and it resonated. It did what it needed to do. And, the fact that that was what I felt in my spirit was what I needed to share. And it's not something that I share. it's very personal. It's very close to me, you know, like I don't tell people that. And in the class with me, my co-teacher, it was my brother-in-law, and like he knows me, he knows my siblings, he knows my parents, like, so like it was some stuff that was like news to him, and in the moment, I knew that I was doing what the Lord was telling me to do. I knew that I was doing what I was supposed to do. I knew that spreading that gospel and giving my testimony in that way, I knew that it would be a good example for that person. And I knew that it would plant a seed for something that they could use later on, you know? And I knew there was some alignment. And as we closed, and then we went into the fellowship hall to have, like, you know, reception, eat and stuff before we all went home, I felt a very heavy, it was almost shame. It could have been shame. And you know what? No, it was not shame. It was embarrassment. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. And I literally was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I shared that. I can't believe I talked about that. I can't believe I said that. Oh my gosh. Can people see me, or are people looking at me? Oh my gosh, I hope they don't tell nobody about that. Oh my God, why did I say that? 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 And I was about to break down. I was about to break down. I'm about to break down right now thinking about it, like, and it just kept replaying in my head. It just kept replaying. And like I kept trying to push it out. You know, like they say, the Bible says to hold your thoughts captive. And I do. So every time it popped into my head, I stopped it. And I said, no, I was doing what I felt led to do. I was convicted to tell that story. I know that this was something I was supposed to do. And I should not feel embarrassed for sharing that. It is my testimony. I'm supposed to evangelize. I'm supposed to share the gospel. This is what I'm supposed to do. People need real life stories to relate to their lives. We took the text. We talked about it. We expanded on it. I gave a real world example. I did what I was supposed to do. There's no reason to be embarrassed. Why would I be embarrassed about something that God asked me to do? And every time it popped into my head, I caught it and I said the same thing to myself. But it didn't stop it from popping up. And so I was driving home and I was like, okay. I was supposed to stop by my friend's house. She didn't answer the phone. So I was like, well, I'm not going to stop there. And I realized that that stuff that got recalled, that was what I was going to eat tonight. So I was like, okay, what am I going to eat now? So I was like, just stop at the store. So I stopped at the store. And while I was in the store, I got way more things than intended. Okay. I did. Like okay, side note, okay. I am redoing the church nursery. It is a personal passion project. I am about $4,000 in. I am. But I'm essentially turning it into a classroom. So like classroom materials, storage containers, books, you know, like crayons, shelving, like decorations. I am doing essentially like a full overhaul, a full redo of the nursery. Actually, okay. I'd say like $2,000 in. I've been really pouring into my church this year. So I'd say I've maybe done $1,500 towards the church as a whole. And then maybe the other $500 has been to like stewardship. So like to our members and to our church leadership and stuff like that. Like to show that they're cared for our church elders. Like I've been getting them stuff like doing stuff for them. And then the rest of it has been for the church nursery. So it's like $4,000 total. Okay, so then yeah, maybe like $2,000 specifically for the nursery. But so I go to the store and I don't get paid for another few days. I get paid this week, but it's the end of the week. Today, Tuesday. So I'm like, okay, JD, you cannot spend a lot of money. But I got like a few food items, like a handful. And then I was like, okay, go to the arts and crafts section. And there's some things that I do need for the church nursery. And last night when I was supposed to be working on my lesson plan for Vacation Bible School, I was working on the rest of the stuff I need to do for the nursery, because the nursery is almost done. So I had made a list of everything else I needed for the nursery. And I was trying to come up with like a timetable of how long it would take me to like collect those items and then like make those things. Because I'm doing a lot of DIY. And like I didn't come up with a timetable. But when I was at the store, I heard go to the arts and crafts. So I go to arts and crafts and I see almost everything that was on my list of stuff from last night. And I didn't have a list with me, but it was fresh on mine, you know. So I grabbed all those things. So I was in the store for a while, and that took my mind off of my embarrassment. And then I load up the car. I am heading home, and like it has since stopped raining. The flooding has like gone down. I would say, well, I don't know about other areas, but like my area between my church and the store and my house, flooding completely gone. Like there's no standing water anywhere. So I get home, I pull up in my driveway, and I'm trying to grab all this stuff. So I gotta grab like my work bag and my purse and my bag from Vacation Bible School, because I need to go over like the past 2 nights of lesson, and then what the lesson is going to be for tomorrow, which is care for my community, care for the world. So I like that we're expanding our care. That's really exciting. But also, like, I think I did a lot of nuggets that will play into tomorrow unintentionally, because I did not look to see what tomorrow's lesson was going to be tonight. As you can see, I barely looked at tonight's lesson, but I did a pretty good job, I think. But yeah, so I'm grabbing all the stuff, and as I go to close my trunk, my shoe, this shoe, I had it in a Kroger bag because I had took them off, you know. So my shoe falls out of the bag, which is why it's still out of the bag. It's soaking wet, by the way. Okay, it's soaking wet, but I'll get there. So it falls out of the bag and hits me on my foot. And I was like, what? And as soon as it hit my foot, I felt a huge flood of water. Running water. Like somebody had turned, somebody had turned on a faucet. Like an outdoor faucet right onto my feet. It was a full flood of water, and it's not raining. I'm in my driveway. I'm not like, my house doesn't have like an awning or anything. Like I wasn't by the gutters, you know. And like I thought that I had dropped one of the juices, because I got some juice. I thought I had dropped the juice, and I was looking around for a carton. I'm like, what fell on me? What fell on me? My feet are soaking wet. Like water was just, and then it just across the driveway. Where did this come from? I was so perplexed. Like, what just happened? And mind you, okay, I'm bent over. So, okay, I'm going to show you. So I have my bags on my arm, and then bags on my arm. I press the button on my trunk. Trunk starts going down. And then I have this bag. Shoe falls, hits my foot, and I bend over to pick up the shoe off my foot. I'm bent, okay? I don't think you understand. You probably do. Maybe you do. I'm going to show you my feet, okay? I'm sorry. I'm going to show you my feet for free. So, it hits my foot. I bend over. I'm covering my feet. Do you see how I am covering my feet with my body? None of me is wet. None of me is wet. Except my feet. None of me got wet except my feet. The bag that my shoe was in is dry. The other shoe, dry. This shoe is soaked. Like, can you see the difference in the color? Can you see how this one is much, much darker? Like, this is wet. This shoe is wet. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this shoe's wet. I'm bent over my feet. Where could all of that water come pouring over my foot? And it didn't come from me. I didn't have no water. Nothing else was around me. Water. And then pours across my driveway. And when I tell you the rain had like dried up, my driveway was not wet. There's a wet spot on my driveway from the water that hit my feet and my shoe. So I'm like, what is happening? Like, I'm low-key freaking out because what is going on? What's going on? And I'm not gonna figure it out. And it's 10 o'clock at night. I need to get in the house. Jada, what are you doing? Trying to figure out this mystery in the home. In the home, girl. You need to take a shower now. Because this is the third time your feet have gotten dirty. Like, come on, ma'am. And literally, as I was walking up the steps into my house, I heard, your feet are not dirty. Your feet are clean. I washed it. And what's so crazy about that and the woman at the well is that Jesus is the living water, right? And like when my shoe broke at the store, I'm like gravel and grit and dirt on the bottom of my foot. You know, like I dusted, but like I didn't wash my foot off. And then when I was heading to church and then going into church, like it's standing water. So my foot is like going into standing water, like, and hey, you know, but this was moving water. It was moving water. And then it was gone. And that just makes me think about Jesus. Like, he is living, he is active, he is moving, he is an active participant in my life, in our lives, you know, like, he is living. And also, I was walking up to my house saying, oh my gosh, like, well, I mean, I was gonna take a shower anyway, y'all. Please don't play me. I'm just dramatic, all right? I'm just dramatic, okay? So, it's the Last Supper. But yeah, I'm just dramatic, okay? So don't take this as I wasn't gonna wash my feet. But as I'm walking up the stairs to my house, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like now I'm dirty. I'm gonna have to take a good shower now because my feet been getting dirty all day. And I'm also kind of stressed because it's 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, okay, I need to go through all this stuff. I still haven't went over my lesson for tomorrow. And now I have all this stuff for like the nursery for church. I need to organize it because I'm going to church tomorrow. So I want to bring it to church with me tomorrow to at least have there. So then maybe if I can get to Vacation Bible School early another day, then I can like start setting stuff up while I'm waiting for us to start. You know, like I'm trying to prepare the rest of the week. And like, so that's why I was mostly stressed. Like, oh my God. But I am complaining to myself about, excuse me. I'm complaining to myself, I gotta cough again. Excuse me. About my feet being so dirty. Like just a dirty foot day. And literally, it's, your feet are not dirty. I'll wash them for you, they're clean. So I get in the house. I kick my shoes off. I run to the bathroom. I use the bathroom. I had to pee. You know how it is. As soon as you get home, as soon as that door was unlocked, it was like, gotta go right now. So I run to the bathroom. And while I'm sitting, like, I kicked my shoes off. And, like, going potty. And I pull out my phone. And I look up Jesus washing the disciples' feet. And at first, when I was reading it, when it was talking about, okay, like the reason that Jesus did this was to show that he is like right here with us. It's not that we are better than him or that like that we're higher than him or he's higher than us. It was that like we're here, like it's a partnership, it's a relationship, it's collaborative. And he wanted them to look at everyone else that way too. Like, yes, you are the disciples. Like, you did walk with Christ on earth. But the way that I sacrificed and presented myself as holy and helped everyone, the way that, you know, like, I was a carpenter and people looked like I was a carpenter, but I'm the Messiah. And I was in the wilderness, you know, like I was with tax collectors. I was with, like people that have been possessed and, like people that were like sexual immorality and like doing stuff out of will, like just all kind of, he was with the sinners. He was with the sinners, you know? So it's like, he did not act like he was above them or that they were below him. And it also was not vice versa. So he's trying to get them into the mind frame of, I am humbling myself before you. I want you to humble yourselves before them. You are not better than them. You are not higher up than them. You're not holier than them. Like, you are who is going to be out here bringing people to me. So you need to be relatable. You need to be realistic, authentic, empathetic. And like you need to present yourself as holy. You need to be someone that can bring these people to me. People followed me because I was the Messiah. People are going to need to follow you to get to me. You need to bring people to me. Now there's an in-between. There's an in-between now, and it's you. So like I need you to steward this properly and appropriately in the way it needs to be in order to bring people to Christ. And at first when I read it, I was like, okay, I spent a lot of money at the store today. Haven't gotten my check yet. And so I start immediately reasoning with myself. I'm like, okay, well, pastor said that when you do stuff for the church, you do it in addition to your tithes. So, yes, I've been doing a lot of stuff for the church, but also, with all the money I've been doing in improving the church, I've also been paying more of my tithes. So, the church is getting a kind of like later on benefit from the physical work that I'm doing, like with my talents and my time, but like they're still getting like the monetary time. So I start reasoning, and then I'm like, well, God, okay, yeah, but I just got a raise. So it's okay. Like, it's okay that I'm spending money on this stuff. It's okay that I'm doing this. So I thought that it was telling me to humble myself in a way of like scaling down. And I don't know why that's what I thought. I was looking at it and I was like, that ain't giving. That doesn't make sense. I was like, why would Jesus tell me that he washed my feet if I'm doing too much for the kingdom? It didn't make sense. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why I thought that. I think because I had just got home from the store, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I shared too much at church and then I spent so much money. What am I doing? I'm doing everything wrong. Girl. And that felt weird anyway because I'm a giver. Like, my heart posture is never doing things for people or doing things for the kingdom, doing things for my church, doing things for my community. It's never from a place of like I'm never doing it begrudgingly. I'm never doing it out of what is it called? Not position, not order. I can't think of the word. If y'all can think of the word, let me know. But I don't do things out of this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm not that type of person. I'm really not. I only do things I'm passionate about. And I've been really working on being still. So I don't go out of my way to do a whole lot. I mostly just try to sit and meditate and like feel connected to the Lord, stay connected to the vine. I move when he says move. I talk when he says talk. And I try to keep it constant. Throughout every day, every second of every day, I try to keep it constantly tethered, constantly. And so it was weird that my first response was like that my heart posture was wrong in the sense of like giving. I've been doing this. I'm a cheerful giver. I'm having a great time. Okay, I'm having a great time. So I just was like, that's weird. But then, so I held that thought. I held it captive. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't align with my character. That doesn't align with God's character. God wouldn't call me to do something that I should be ashamed of doing. That doesn't make sense. And so, especially since, like, I've been feeling so called to ministry. It's like, okay, now you're in ministry and now you're upset. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I sat for a few more seconds and I was like, okay. I heard Holy Spirit say, you are clean, I washed your feet. It's not me. Like, I'm like, this is not a message for me to come down off my high horse. Oh my gosh. And I was like, that's not what it said. It wasn't telling me to get down and clean these people's feet. It was saying that he cleaned my feet. He cleaned my feet. Why would he need to clean my feet? And so I look back at the text and I see how Peter was protesting. Like, Lord, you are not going to clean my feet. And how Jesus wanted Peter to humble himself. I'm like, okay, humble in what way? And then I I get the connection. Then I get the connection. Once I'm like, humble in what way? Literally the whole purpose of the text. Jesus wanted the disciples to be relatable. He didn't want them to be trying to guide people to him from up here. He wanted them to guide people from right here. He wanted them to be able to talk to them, relate to them, be compassionate, be empathetic. And I have been beating myself up because I had shared something that the Holy Spirit led me to share, because it's a part of my testimony that is sensitive. It's a part that makes me feel vulnerable. And I don't like being vulnerable in the moment. I don't like being vulnerable in the moment. And I can do post clarity and be very in-depth and open and honest about those conversations post clarity. But this year, especially the past 2 months, God has been putting on me heavy to be vulnerable in the moment. To not show people, hi, I'm on this side, but to show people realistic, authentic, honest, step by step by step, as I'm getting over to that side. And I've been working on it for the past 2 months. That's what he's been having me pay attention to and work on. So the fact that my reaction when I told something vulnerable and saw that it helped somebody, and that I was instantly embarrassed because now people know things. Is that not the whole purpose? Is that not the whole purpose? So I feel like the Lord was trying to tell me to, yes, humble myself, but in a way that, I helped somebody by giving my testimony. Why are you embarrassed about something that gives God glory? Humble yourself. You, in that moment, you were that person's equal. You should always be their equal. And what did that remind me of? Work today. When I had to get out of my manager's seat and my team of 6, I walked in every single person's shoes today. In every single person's shoes. I was grounded. I got to see their experiences firsthand, and I got to relate. And now something good is going to come of it for their benefit and for the benefit of our department and hopefully our organization as a whole. Is not their benefit in doing the same thing with the kingdom of heaven? To walk in their shoes, to be relatable, to be with those people, to walk with the people that have been demon possessed, and to walk with the tax collectors, and all of those other sinners, to walk with the sinners. We are sinners ourselves. And one thing that I have been, just getting into ministry, one thing that I'm not going to say enrages me, one thing that is irritating, one thing that's really irritating that I have been talking to my church leadership about, maybe for the past 2 years, honestly, but just like really, really heavily and constantly, and like keeping the pressure on, and like not letting up and holding them accountable. Like, we have constantly been talking about how church leadership is not approachable, how like we could do work on being relatable and compassionate and empathetic, meeting people where they are, going, like, not staying shuttered in the church and going out into the community to be with those people and experiences with them, instead of looking down on them for not being in our church when we don't even know what their experience is that's keeping them from getting here. I have been so vocal on that the past few years, but especially the past like 8 or 9 months. And me feeling embarrassed about sharing that testimony. And it was nothing but the enemy, because God, that washing of my feet moment was such an eye-opener. Such an eye-opener. It's like, you did a good thing. And you want to be in ministry, you want to make this transition, you need to be the person that is the opposite of what you keep complaining about. You know, like, you see fault in the way that things are done currently, and you know what they need to change to steward the church properly, and to bring more people to Christ, to gain more membership, and to help build disciples. And me, by holding back, by not wanting to share certain things about my walk, about my life, about my experiences, even when I know that it relates to the person and that they could benefit from hearing it. That ain't nothing but a devil, y'all. Like, so that was the message that I got from the Lord today. It was insane. And also, I think it's very, very funny that I said, I told the volunteer in my department that I felt like God had something in store today where I would need closed-toed shoes. And all that work I had to do, and then also, very funny that I said that God must have something in store today where I'm going to need closed-toed shoes. And then while I'm wearing these open sandals, closed-toed shoe, bam, on my foot, and then all of a sudden my feet are clean. Crazy. Like, God is so good. And I know this message needs to be shared, because even the fact that God brought to me that message this morning about evangelizing and the woman at the well and sharing things in the moment, I know that I am being obedient and faithful, and once again vulnerable for the second time today. And I know that the Lord will make a way. I know that things will be better because of it. And I am no longer embarrassed. I don't feel embarrassed. actually very, very grateful. I'm very grateful. 'Cause I was patient all day. I took all the different things and I rolled with it. Like, I didn't have a lesson prepared today. I didn't have a lesson prepared today. And the Lord provided. And He provided in every sense. God is so good. But to close things out, because it is now 11:30, I've been trying to make this video since 10 o'clock. It's been an hour and a half. And I still haven't gone over the lesson for tomorrow. And I need to take a shower, y'all, okay? But, I want to show y'all my shoes. Okay, so these are the shoes I had on today, okay? Cute. I love these heels so much. And, like, I glued it and I clamped it down. And then I had weights to put on it to make sure that it didn't lift, so that it stayed closed, so that it could seal with the glue, so it would stay sealed. So whether or not that is sufficient to save those shoes or not, hey, who knows? But I know that the Lord's grace is sufficient. And I know that if I don't save those shoes, maybe I can at least help save some souls. So, good night, y'all.